Here's a question that catches a lot of people off guard. Do identical twins have the same fingerprints? You'd think the answer would be yes. After all, identical twins come from the same fertilized egg, have the same DNA, and often look like mirror images of each other. But when it comes to fingerprints, science throws us a curveball. Let's start with what we know. Identical twins are created when a single fertilized egg splits into two embryos. Since they come from the same egg, they have virtually the same genetic makeup. This is why their physical features, like facial structure, hair type, eye color, and even voice tone, are often nearly indistinguishable. And yet, despite all of these similarities, when you look at their fingerprints under a microscope, they're not the same. So, what gives? Shouldn't DNA control everything? Well, yes and no. DNA does play a role in fingerprint development. It determines the basic fingerprint pattern each of us has, like whether we have loops, whorls, or arches. That's why twins often have similar general patterns. But fingerprints are more than just loops and swirls. What makes each person's fingerprint truly unique are the tiny, detailed ridges and minutiae. Those little points and lines that you see in a police or biometric scan. And those details aren't directly encoded in your DNA. Here's where it gets interesting. Fingerprints begin to form around the 10th week of pregnancy and are mostly set by the time the fetus is about 6 months along. During that time, the skin on the fingers develops in layers, and the shape of those layers is influenced not just by genetics but by the environment inside the womb. And even though identical twins share a womb, they don't experience that environment in exactly the same way. One twin might be slightly larger, positioned differently, or receive slightly more nutrients or pressure from the amniotic fluid. Tiny variations in blood flow, temperature, and movement. All of these can affect how the ridges on their fingertips form. And here's the kicker. Even the slightest difference in any of these factors can cause a change in the ridge patterns. So while their fingerprints might look similar at a glance, they're never identical. This is why fingerprints are used in forensics and security. They're so specific to the individual that even someone with the same DNA, like your identical twin, won't be able to unlock your phone or match your prints at a crime scene. It's one of nature's subtle but brilliant ways of ensuring individuality, even in people who are genetically alike. So the next time you meet identical twins, remember, while they might share the same smile, the same laugh, and even the same DNA, their fingerprints are uniquely their own. It's a powerful reminder that we're all one of a kind, even when nature tries to make a copy. If you found this fascinating, make sure to like, follow, or subscribe, whichever button you see, and share this with someone who loves weird science facts. Got a question that's been bugging you? Drop it in the comments, and I might just turn it into the next video.